Alright guys, so we're going to be doing another, dungeon here. We just finished Skull and Mets, and now we're going to be moving on to Uldaman.
Look at our pets.
Yeah, we got double job. Look at them dance. There they go, they're dancing. Gotta love that low resolution frog.
So many polygons.
Indeed. Job.
Smart mouth, huh?
Gear is repaired. Okay, so.
Security.
Yeah, we did Skull Mets. Next we're gonna do Uldaman, which is a dig site. I think this one's in the Badlands.
Yeah, sounds right.
That would be over here. Okay, fuck off. Over here. In the Badlands. I'm pretty sure Uldaman is somewhere around this area. But yeah, Uldaman is a pretty basic instance. I don't think they did too much changes to it. They did actually, yeah. But here we go. It's basically a, I want to say dwarven dig site where they are looking for artifacts of the Titans. Which we'll get into more later in the story. But for now, this is their first indication.
Did they make this one any easier?
They added in a bunch of stuff to it. I don't know if the route or anything is any different.
I remember you had to run it like twice before. There was something like from the end boss to kill the end boss or something. I don't know. I need to transmog this helmet off. That old school loading screen.
It is. Alright. So now we got a bunch of elves in here though.
Victory lies ahead.
Behind closed door. Kill Galgan
Be
Firehammer.
ready for anything.
Our enemies will fall.
These quests used to
The reckoning is at hand.
Yeah.
Glory to the Sindora.
Defeat Iron and defeat an Obsidian Power
your
Core,
wits
get an
about
Obsidian Power Core and a Titan Power Core. Okay, so this is the exit to the dungeon. So here's the entrance over here.
You go this way. I'll mark you. These are trogs.
Yeah, so these are apparently the first experiment or attempt at making a race of the Titans on this planet. They were the first to fall to the curse of the flesh by the old gods, which we haven't really gotten into yet. Again, we'll discuss that lore more later in the story, but for now, we'll touch on it, that these guys were the first creations of the Titans, as far as, you know, we're told. Well, maybe not the first, but one of the first. And they fell to the curse of the flesh. To be honest, I don't know too much about trogs. Trogs aren't that prolific in lore that I'm recalling. I never really cared about them too much either. So is that.
At least there's a map now.
Yeah, that's true. There is a map now. When we,
It used to not be.
yeah, back when there was no map, this place was far worse than it is now.
And you'd had to install Atlas.
Ah, the add-on, yes. Apparently trogs
And
did
it wouldn't
have
even show
shaman.
you where you were on the map, I'm pretty sure. Just show you a map.
And then there was Atlas loot.
Which I still use. I think. remember what that does.
Used to have selectable bosses on the map that we have now.
Oh, maybe
and then
I
you
don't
could
use that anymore. Yeah. Yeah, that's how you would see what the bosses drop, but now they have that in the dungeon journal.
Yep, in the dungeon journal, and you can click on the bosses in the map here, and it'll open the dungeon journal for you.
Oh shit! I know that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
So up there are some dwarves, which, if we were Alliance, would not be attackable because they're dwarves.
It's true. The dwarves are not a boss for the Alliance. But they are for us, and we are going to fight them. They are based on one of Blizzard's first games, The Lost Vikings. Yeah,
Really?
Eric the Swift. Yep, Olaf, and who's the last one? I don't remember his name. Balog.
I just noticed Arena said, next week, I'm celebrating 3 weeks of no delivery on my case.
I don't know if it's a celebration. Also, I'm sorry to hear that.
Swift is just running around.
Yeah, he does that. There's not much I can do about it. They like to stun me,
I guess
too.
that's because he's Swift.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem like he's Swift, more like he's... I don't know.
The fuck is he doing?
Damaged. He's like the wizard.
He is like the wizard. He's got a hat kind of like him, too.
It's a Jessica Jones reference.
Well, yes.
Sort of.
Marvel reference, but
Yeah,
more recently.
but Jessica Jones.
More recently, a Jessica Jones reference.
Because that really made the character what I'm referring to. A fear-based superpowers.
This one's fucking annoying to fight too. Eric the Swift.
Good God. Okay.
Still, that was a nice little reference they threw in there.
Yeah, I didn't know that was actually a reference to anything, so that's cool.
I got a horned Viking helmet.
Coming to another boss now, and now I have Pinchy out. Revelosh.
10 strength. It says 12 strength. Okay. Well, this is another boss. I don't know what this one does, so.
Well, you know, if you press shift, it'll like tell you a stat assessment. Mouse over.
Yeah, I know.
If you don't know it. Makes it easier to compare. Be like, oh, it's plus whatever. Done.
Revelosh. I don't remember this guy being a main boss in the original game, or in the original story, but maybe he
I
was.
think he was. Not like a main boss, but he was there. He was a boss. One thing about this instance is it's chock full of bosses.
That's true. There are a lot of bosses here. I think there's 8 of them total, which is pretty big for a normal dungeon.
I feel like a lot of times people would skip things.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times things they had to kill, and then they would have to backtrack, and that's what made this dungeon so painful.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Probably still do that with tanks who don't know what a map is.
So as you can see, this definitely looks like an excavation site, especially when we get to the next area coming up here. You'll see. It'll be great.
And the last area too.
Yeah.
It's like a nice mix between like you know, some kind of ruins that you're like, what is going on here? And then excavate it. It's like, you ruined the ruins.
Oh shit. Okay.
They're not an elite, so, well, most of them.
I just pulled one and like all of them, you know, was like, ah crap, that's not what I wanted. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
the extra ones are...
He tries to run away and I'm just like, nope, chase you down. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, look at this. This area here, this like little village.
Little
looking
houses.
thing, always reminded me of Monopoly.
Yeah, same. Why? Why is this a thing? What is it?
It's a good question. I don't think they ever really explain what that is.
Invisible.
That guy is definitely invisible. I'll tell you there's a lot
Not
of them.
anymore. Now he's visible.
Now he's visible?
Gotta kill these healing hordes.
That's ridiculous. Okay, let's kill this oracle. You know what? I think. Yeah, how do we unleash on Iron Arrow? Didn't we have to pick something up? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember.
There's something you do at the houses.
I see it. Yeah, somebody did it. There you go.
What is it?
It's a little staff. They stuck it in the keystone. And now this is doing like an Indiana Jones type thing, where it's drawing light to it.
Gonna beam. Here it comes. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, see? So we're doing a dig site, kind of like Indiana Jones. Funny thing is, there's an NPC in this game that is directly referencing
the secrets of the makers.
Indiana Jones. His name is Harrison Jones.
Yeah. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Isn't there something back in her room that she comes out of? I think there was.
Maybe.
It's like hurting our paladin. I don't know what it is.
Me either. She might be stomping.
It's not hurting me.
Well, maybe not then.
Or the monk. I don't know. That hurt.
Good thing I had Ignore Pain up.
I mean, like, that actually hurt full of melee, so. That one did. That was a stomp.
That's an avatar of the makers. That was Iron Aya. You'll find that they use that model quite a bit.
And I leveled 47.
Congrats.
Maybe there's nothing in this room anymore.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Imagine just being shut in this room. That'd be dumb.
That'd be awful. Imagine how she felt.
Just cobwebs, empty bookcases.
They could have
What
at
are you
least
gonna
put.
do?
They could have at least put books in there for her.
Or a window. Or like, I don't know.
Screw off scorpions. We got big scorpion this time. Not that little scorpion stuff anymore. It's a black and red scorpion. This thing looks lethal.
This is like the part where people would get lost and they wouldn't go do bosses.
Alright guys, so I gotta ask. If you saw a giant scorpion that looked like the one we just killed, what would you do?
Die.
You just die? You wouldn't try to escape or anything? You just die?
That's it.
Alright, well, fair enough.
Or it'd be like, I'm Lucio. Speed boost.
Speed boost. I'm a warrior, speed boost.
Rage boost.
Rage boost, yes. Hey, look, there's...
one of videos that I watched, and we haven't watched together, and I keep trying to find it, but I don't know which it is. But there's only a few more videos of this left that are overwatched.
Alright, Obsidian Sentinel. This is where we get one of the hearts.
Yeah, look at that shitter.
He's very obsidian looking. This is a common model you'll see for Dwarven made golems. Oh, she turned into a bunch of little ones. Oh, fuck you. So as you kill him, he kind of like shrinks and turns into smaller versions of himself that are not as strong as the main body, but they still are kind of annoying. They're called obsidian shards. And now he's dead.
Oh shit, I got silenced. Don't die.
Can't promise that.
I can.
I got a necklace. Sweet.
Except not, because you have heirloom. Okay. Used to have to go through here. But now
You don't have
it's
to.
just an entrance.
Yep, it's just an exit to the dungeon. That's all that's there.
Or maybe that's all it ever was.
Or maybe that's all it ever was.
Actually, no. I might be. Oh, I'm thinking of the Stone Vault boss. What is all it ever was? Oh, yeah, this is the tricky part.
So the earthen here definitely are one of the Titan's first creations, because they're still stone. They're what dwarves were basically when the earthen did get cursed. Mad Grandpa, hello, thank you very much for the bits. The dwarven were one of the first races created by the Titans as well. They were among the first, and the ones that did get cursed with the curse of flesh became dwarves. Because as you can see, they look a lot like a dwarf, except they're made of stone. They're,
Spell you and DW again.
I don't know, they're rude as shit, right? These guys aren't that tough, thankfully. There's treasure chest over there if anyone wants it.
No.
Alright, I'll open it.
How dare you?
Mad Grandpa says, hi, Wintrig.
Hello.
You're pretty quiet, by the way.
Hello.
There you go, that's much better.
Well, I moved my microphone a little bit and then I kind of yelled. So
That's still better.
not yelled, but okay, so it's better now.
Yeah, you're definitely a lot more audible.
Oh, that's so weird. I like barely nudged it. I moved it maybe like a centimeter up.
How you doing, Mad Grandpa? We're going through Uldaman right now, as you might recall.
Guy does wind shit. You may notice.
I do notice that, yeah.
Getting the debuff on me a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up the ad and get him away from the...
Ah, he interrupted me during my essence fawn.
Why is this following me? Like... This tornado is really annoying.
Don't try to move from it. It's just gonna make everything worse.
I'll do what I want.
Arena.
He says, how are you two doing? I am excellent. I got my Elgato Stream Deck, if you didn't hear. I'm very excited about that. Would you stop knocking me
It
over?
seems like it just knocks all of us down no matter what.
Guess we probably should kill the stone stewards first, but whatever. There's one
We
down.
killed one of them. Sorry about that. It's just very hard to kill.
There we go. And we got our other core. Perfect. Alright. I think if we go out here. Perfect pace for monk fist weaving. Well, fist punching.
Fist of Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there when I got delivered. Okay. Yeah, I can never remember who was there, but I'm still very excited about it. So, Grandpa, what are you spending this weekend doing? Shit, I don't need to go that one. Oops. I turned around a little. It was too late though. But yeah, I was dropping the knowledge bits of stuff that Pima didn't know, like you could click on the map and the bosses on the map and it would open the dungeon journal for you, and that the dwarves were a reference to Blizzard's first game, The Lost Vikings, and she's reminding me of things I don't remember about these dungeons because I didn't really do them as much as she did.
Yeah, I did a lot of like low level random pugs. You didn't really level a bunch of characters like I did.
That is true.
Also, I would just run these like over and over.
Oh shit, I
Only
didn't
by
get all these.
I'm like, oh, there's so many of these.
Yep, but we're gonna do them all.
Nope.
What do you mean no? No mana burn for you, Darkcaster. Just relaxing as usual. Altaholic? Yeah, Piamet is an altaholic. There's so many alts. I have my death. I have a lot of characters, but I only have 2 that I really used. My Death Knight, my
By Thorison's spirit, slay them!
Thorazon is the king of the Dark Iron Dwarves.
It's a lot like Therazane.
It is. This guy's another boss, though. He's not too bad. He's just a caster, so you know he's gonna cast a lot of magic, but for the most part, he's not very strong. Like, once you take out his ads, that removes a lot of the issue from the fight. I'm just gonna stand in instead of do a lot of damage. Especially if I pair it with,
Arcane.
yeah, ignore pain. You heard the Dark Iron Dwarves are going to be playable. You heard correct. If I had the money at the time, I was going to buy Battle for Azeroth and make one eventually, but I'm just going to wait because it's not that I don't have the money, it's just I don't want to. I have other things I'd rather purchase right now. And like one of my coworkers and friends in real life, he offered to buy the game for me if I raided with them on Friday nights, but I didn't really want to raid with them, so. Not because like I don't like spending time with them or anything. It's just I don't want to commit to another raid group.
Oh, you're gonna be excited to see this cape.
Is it a split cape?
This is one of the first capes I used on Tiamat.
It's a split cape. It's fucking rude. I don't like split capes. They're rude.
I thought it was cute.
Until you found out that I hated it.
It had like spirit on it, and I used it as retribution.
Oh, this is So these big guys, they hit hard. Good to know.
So I have that Overwatch League site, like the actual site open. And I think at 4 it's starting, but I'll probably have it like, if it starts on the main page, probably gonna make some sound. I'm gonna have to mute it.
Probably
So
is.
that'll be a thing. That will happen momentarily.
At 4?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're starting early today.
yes, but it's only 3.
Yeah, at 4. Oh, I mean, I didn't mean momentarily as in like soon. I meant it will only take a moment.
Oh.
Sorry. Wrong use of momentarily.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, Grandpa, what do you think of this dungeon? Oh, also, this guy here is a boss. His name is Grimlock.
This is what I was thinking about.
Me, Grimlock, king!
For those of you who don't know, that line that he just said is a reference, and the name is a reference to a transformer named Grimlock.
What? What?
He's a dinosaur transformer, and when he gets to a planet, he knocks down this wall, and he's like, "Me Grimlock say, me king!"
Arena said, I dislike all capes that aren't down to your feet. Long capes are the best. Actually, I really hate pretty much any cape, but I think these like half-length capes, especially the split capes, are very cute.
I don't like any cape that is split up the back. It looks stupid to me. It's like, why have 2 ribbons
Sorry,
hanging from
I
your
meant to
back?
spell something pulled out.
That's fine.
Yeah, I just don't like having that much of my character covered by just like a flap that doesn't really contribute anything to me.
Victory. This, he is a reference to a Transformer. So Transformers fans,
yeah.
rejoice. These give slightly more armor. More. Same amount of stats otherwise. So they're better. Take them.
I think these pants show like my leg. Yeah, they show side leg.
I was gonna technically,
Side to thigh.
technically all pants show your legs.
Oh,
Just not the skin.
these show my skin. This way.
Too late. Already pulled. I mean, you can go the other way too, but...
No, this is the way that I'm saying we should go.
You get a little more EXP from going this way, so...
This is the way I said to go.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying you get a little more EXP.
No. This way.
Yeah, you enrage. That's fine.
Okay.
The dungeon, if you were in a night up area, the Black Fathom Deeps, or Depths. Yeah, Black Fathom Deeps, I think it's called.
Yeah, oh, that one.
That one, yeah, I remember that dungeon. Yeah, we did it earlier on the stream too. Like, not today, but earlier in...
I like it.
Pima didn't like it, yeah.
I never liked that dungeon, though, to be fair. I don't like...
To be fair
making
to
this game.
WoW, though, Pima doesn't really like most things that exist. It makes life challenging.
For me, yeah. It's hard. Hard life.
Indeed. Yeah, you like Black Fathom Deeps? They actually changed it, if you didn't know, Grandpa. They added in a lot to do with the... Well, the Twilight Cult was always there, but they enhanced upon it and got rid of a few of the superfluous bosses and the random paths that you could take to get around everywhere.
Yeah, it made it a lot more, like, player-friendly.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it wasn't super friendly before.
It definitely was not. She is correct.
Hopefully some of these beams heal you. Looks like they did.
Alright. Got some more earth and stone carvers here.
Arena says, it doesn't matter what capes I use because you hate my transmogs. I've barely seen any of your transmogs, Arena. You can keep showing me them.
Don't worry, Arena. She hates mine too.
Them.
Mostly because I don't really do any translate. I don't really use any transmogs, so she tends
as long
to
as you use the moon.
The moon.
So here, you touch the pedestal.
Done.
You have to stand on top of it.
Why would I do this?
Get it right.
So why would I do this?
Why not? Standing on top of the pedestal shows that you're best. Look who's on top of it.
I think we're gonna knock Piamet off her pedestal.
Oh. Fuck, Arena says the green one I linked with the diving helmet. Yeah, that does sound pretty awful.
Show your dominance. Yeah. Doors open. Look, there's people hanging out back here. It's gonna be like a pretty lame life too. Like, how do they open the door without killing those? Like, how do they get out?
They don't. It's just an orgy all the time until the door opens.
Like, oh shit, the door's open. We can finally leave.
And then they just get killed instead.
Also,
Shit life.
why do they never bring warriors with them to these tombs? Like, they always...
There's a quest here?
Yeah, it's down below. It's past the room with Arcades. It's that room where you take the discs to the,
I don't know, Arena. I just don't like green clothes. In most games, pretty much.
She also doesn't like the color green.
In Ragnarok, actually green used to be my favorite color.
She also doesn't like the color green.
Yeah, usually I don't. In Ragnarok, there's some cool green clothing colors, but it has to be like kind of a pastel green or a sea green. I said ew to his transmog. Oh, sorry.
Mad Grandpa says they get out through magic. Ooh. Maybe they have like little holes in the walls, like rats use to get around. Or maybe these earthen guys can fade in and out of walls.
They are earthen. Get it? Earth. So they can control it.
They become one with stone. It's an ability in D&D.
Nerd.
Alright, here's our
This
boss.
one's cool. You gotta stand on the pedestal again.
Why would I do this?
See, look. I'm doing it. I'm doing this.
Alright, so this is Arcades. He's a boss. As you can see, it's kind of like having some effect on him. He's got tornadoes
Who
falling on him.
dares awaken Arcadus?
He doesn't like me doing
Who
this.
dares the wrath of the Makers?
I don't know if I have to continue doing this.
I don't think so.
Stop.
I highly recommend that.
Nah.
What the hell's he doing? That's rude.
I meant stop healing. Good, now I can
Awake, ye servants! Defend the discs!
These earthen little bitches are weak as shit.
Yeah, they're man elite.
To my side, brothers. For the Makers.
Wake them all up. He's gonna wake an actual warden now. Oh, okay, so he's waking up the actual warden this time. He's a little tougher. Got it.
It was on me originally.
For the horde!
And now he's done. Look at that. We got him.
Excellent.
Before, that boss was like most bosses in this game, tank and spank. You just beat him up.
Oh, this.
Breastplate.
Pick up that quest real fast.
Lorekeeper of Norganon. Learn what lore the Stonewatcher has to offer. Salutations. My function is to offer access to, and when permissible, insight into the information regarding the creator's synthesis of the Earthen and the world designated as Azeroth. I'm ready to share this information with you at your leisure. Who are the Earthen? The Earthen are a synthesized race engineered by the creators, functioning as one of the seed races in the initial population of the world designated as Azeroth. The Earthen were created to aid the creators' effort in shaping the deep regions of this world. They are a modification of the standard subterranean being matrix used on the other worlds that the creators have seeded. The construction of this prototype race was created various anomalies that were observed after initial synthesis. What is a subterranean being matrix? It is one of the synthesis matrices that the creators used when seeding a world. Each synthesis matrix is used to achieve the creators' goals. For Azeroth, a subterranean being matrix was modified to create a being with increased durability with an affinity for deep regions shaping. The Earthen are the product of this modification. After the Earthen had been put into service for the creators, unforeseen anomalies were discovered that affected their synthesis matrix due to high-stress environments. What are the anomalies that you speak of? Additional background information on the Earthen must be given to you before this question may be answered properly. Processing. To understand the anomalies of the Earthen, it is first important to understand that the Earthen represent in their design intent. The Earthen represent the creators' attempt to improving the survivability paradigm of the standard subterranean being matrix. This was done by incorporating a resilient foundation of construction inherent to the world into said matrix. What is a resilient foundation of construction? It is the baseline material used in race synthesis. A cross-section of Azeroth's crust was used as the foundation for the Earthen synthesis rather than the typical biomass construction foundation used by the creators. Research on the world's composition led the creators to theorize that an enhanced being could be synthesized that would epitomize the resiliency of this world's essence. This was accomplished by choosing to use a blend of Azeroth's various stone core compounds as its foundation. So the Earthen were made out of stone. Simply stated, this is correct. The Earthen's physical features are that of a smaller stature humanoid, though their composition is that of Azeroth's various stone core compounds. The design maximizes strength and stamina without sacrificing cognitive processing power. Their skin and musculature are nearly impervious to physical damage, and with very minor modifications, the Earthen display a remarkable resilience to unwanted magical life forces. Anything else I should know about the Earthen? It is integral to the assimilation of this data that it is understood that the creators wanted to synthesize a race that would be integral to this part of the world's development cycle after they had departed. The race would be instrumental in fulfilling the creators' long-term development objectives for Azeroth. As an ancillary note, the nomenclature Earthen was deemed apropos for the new race by the creators, based on the Earthen's composition. I think I understand the creators' design intent for the Earthen now. What are the Earthen's anomalies that you spoke of earlier? The Earthen's only anomaly in synthesis is the tendency for matrix destabilization while being utilized in high-stress environments. Addendum: deep earth sculpting was naturally suited to the new matrix design and thus never met the qualifications of duplicating a high-stress environment. Destabilization was not discovered until well into the Earthen's primary service cycle for the creators. The creators began work on post-synthesis modification rather than recall and resynthesis. What high-stress environments would cause the Earthen to destabilize? There's a noticeable pause after you ask this question. The information you request is not currently available in this repository's data cycling. I sincerely apologize for this omission. Please request this information after a data cycling update has been performed on this information repository. You may also request this information from another information repository located on Azeroth. What happens when the Earthen destabilize? There are two potential results when the earthen synthesis matrix destabilizes. Initiating visual aid representation number 1. The first variant matrix is a degenerative product of synthesis, hereby designated with the common nomenclature of Trog. This variant maintains strength and stamina comparable to the earthen, but its cognitive processing power has been completely compromised. Force of will and a strong sense of cunning are the only driving factors of the psyche of the Trog. Trogs? Are the Trogs you mentioned the same as the ones in the world today? I'm unable to process your chronological reference in comparison to the recording of this data. My apologies. The Trog retains some compositions of Azeroth's various stone core compounds, but loses the cognitive power that makes the variant unacceptable to the creators. The Trog procreates as per a standard biomass. By default, it consumes stone and anything else it can acquire, including other Trogs. Cannibalism is considered unacceptable by the creators. You mentioned 2 results when the others stabilize. What was the second? Initiating visual aid representation. Number 2. The second resultant variance of the earthen matrix retains many desired elements when compared to the standard subterranean matrix. The common nomenclature for this variant is dwarf. The variant retains strength and stamina inherent to the earthen. In some cases, the dwarf even exceeds the cognitive powers of the earthen's matrix. The dwarf, however, retains none of the physical composition of Azeroth's stone core compounds. Dwarves? Now you telling me dwarves originally came from the earthen? The data stored in this repository does indeed correlate with your astute proclamation. The dwarf maintains an affinity for the stone composition of Azeroth, but due to the high stress environment anomaly within the earthen synthesis matrix, the dwarf reverts to a default biomass composition as seen in the standard subterranean matrix. Ergo, the dwarf variant does synthesize from the degeneration of the earthen creation matrix, as you inferred with your inquiry. These dwarves are the same as today, yes? Do dwarves maintain any other links to the earthen? I'm unable to process your chronological references in comparison to the recording of this data. My apologies. Though the dwarf maintains most of Earthen's mental attunement to Azeroth's stone composition, the reversion back into living biomass remains the main degeneration of the matrix. Dwarves eat and procreate through means typical to other standard biomasses. The creators view the dwarf as an acceptable variant, worthy of Genesis in its own right. Who are the creators? The creators are the creators. They are the beings that seeded the shape this world by their own design. They are the reason for this world's existence, as well as many other worlds. They are the wellspring from which Azeroth flows. This is a lot to think about. The creators are cognizant of the magnitude of the information housed in this repository. Subsequently, a portable copy of the data stored here will be made available to you once you are attuned with the discs of Norganon. Please consider your cursory requirements for the assimilation of this data to be complete. At your leisure, access the discs of Norganon to begin your synthesis of the discs. I'll access the discs now. Sorry, that's a lot of information to read, but basically...
Yeah, that's why no one reads it.
Following the instructions of the Stone Watcher, you once again access the discs of Norganon now that you have learned about the history of the Earthen, the Trogs, and the Dwarves. A faint brief hum is heard from within the discs. The Stone Watcher then speaks. The discs have now been synthesized. Access the discs of Norganon to once more to receive your personal copy. The Platinum Disc. Touching the disc of Norganon once again makes your hand tingle. This time, however, a strange grinding noise is heard from inside the disc. Your backpack suddenly becomes heavier than it was before. Inside, you discover a miniature version of the discs. No doubt, an item of this sort would be invaluable to someone interested in the ancient history of Azeroth. Someone would surely be interested in this. You get a platinum sword that doesn't look all that great.
So now we teleport out and back in.
Yes.
Also, my Discord and OBS glitched out and DC'd during that, and you were still reading.
Yeah, sorry. I like to get all the information I can. So basically...
I had a feeling you'd read all of that.
Of course, I read everything. The TLDR there is basically the Earthen were created by the creators.
Keep your wits about you.
And they were created using the Earth or Azeroth's crust as their central makeup of what they are. Yeah, leveled up.
The dark times will pass.
Yeah, wow, my MS is 871.
Farewell.
That's not good.
Which rank is this better than?
And then over the course of their service to the creators, the thing they used to make the Earthen kind of had some issues, and it sometimes spit out Trogs, which were the same composition as the Earthen, but not as smart. And then they also made dwarves. which were not the same composition, but apparently acceptable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Uldaman. Now we can go on to less reading intensive stuff.